Psalm chapter 66. Shout joyful praises to God, all the earth. Sing about the glory of his name. Tell the world how glorious he is. Say to God, how awesome are your deeds. Your enemies cringe before your mighty power. Everything on earth will worship you. They will sing your praises, shouting your name in glorious songs. Come and see what our God has done. What awesome miracles he performs for people. He made a dry path through the Red Sea, and his people went across on foot. There we rejoiced in him. For by his great power he rules forever. He watches every moment of the nations. Let no rebel rise in defiance. Let the whole world bless our God and loudly sing his praises. Our lives are in his hands, and he keeps our feet from stumbling. You have tested us, O God. You have purified us like silver. You captured us in your net, and you laid the burden of slavery on our backs. Then you put a leader over us. We went through fire and flood. You brought us to a place of great abundance. Now I come to your temple with burnt offerings to fulfill the vows I made to you. Yes, the vows that I made when I was in deep trouble. That is why I'm sacrificing burnt offerings to you, the best of my rams as a pleasing aroma, and a sacrifice of bulls and male goats. Come and listen, all you who fear God, and I will tell you what he did for me. For I cried out to him for help, praising him as I spoke. If I had not confessed the sin in my heart, the Lord would not have listened, but he did listen. He paid attention to my prayer. Praise God, who did not ignore my prayer or withdraw his unfailing love from me. So this whole psalm is encouraging us to tell of the wonderful deeds that God has done, that everything will worship him. Come and see what miracles God has performed for his people. He made the way through the sea. He turned the sea into a dry path. But then the people went through a testing time. They were tested and they were purified. They made vows when they were in deep trouble. How many of us promise God, God, if you get me out of this situation, I will do this for you. I will serve you. God, if you get me out of this, if you rescue me from this, I will be yours. Some of us have made that promise to God, and we need to make sure that we fulfill that vow and fulfill that promise. But God did listen. He paid attention to my prayer. I'm grateful that God listens and pays attention and will answer those prayers as he sees fit. I just think that's a wonderful verse. God did listen, ! He paid attention to my prayer. I want to talk a little bit about the testing and the trial process. I want you to have a think back and think about situations where you've been tested and you've been through trials. Has God turned that situation around? Has God been able to use that situation? Has God been able to use that test and that trial that you've been through? A tree only grows stronger when it is in a storm. The storms come to strengthen the tree's core, and for us, we need to not fear the storms, but see them as a way of us being strengthened in his word, in our prayer life, in our walk with him every day. So don't fear the storm, don't fear the trial, but see that God is going to use it and is going to change the outcome. So when the Israelites were ready to face the Red Sea to cross, God made a way through that. He made a way where there seemed to be no way, where there was no path, there was no obvious route, but God made the way. So consider all the wonderful things God has done for you. Think about the trials and the storms that we're facing at the moment. God can use those to strengthen us. And remember, God will always listen and pay attention to our prayers. Stay blessed, everyone.